the side, ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired? You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you for this one. And Charles, the Ravens, they've done it again. Champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013, but had not won so much as a playoff game since then.
And remember, the franchise moved from Cleveland, but they started as a true fresh franchise. They didn't take the Browns with them. They became the Ravens. That was 1996. Won a Super Bowl over the Giants. Was that Super Bowl 35 in Tampa. They've won it twice overall, trying to win another one. And there's always a trademark when you think about the Ravens, right? The way they play defense, the way they run the football, how tough and hard-nosed they are as an organization, trying to do it one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they are back again in the big game. It's their 4th appearance, but all coming since the year 2000, Charles.
They've been in it 3 times total, right? Lost 2 prior, right? Lost once in Detroit to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, Mike Holmgren was the head coach of that team. And then they lost that heartbreaker to the New England Patriots when Russell Wilson was picked off. But the win, oh, it was magnificent. That was back in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, Super Bowl 48. And remember, they just rolled over the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning in that one. They'd like to have that kind of performance again in this one.
They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But in this stage, at that part of the field, but like you said, it worked.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch his top.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Right there.
Throwing is Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Good play. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Check 50, check 50.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down now. It's Edwards. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They're running. Ingram. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football.
Green 80. 36 power.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, they created a big run. This is Carson, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his target. That's more. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Carson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check cross, check cross, check cross.
On your team.
Now it's Carson. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. He's coming. We got double up. Good.
Throwing is Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Third and long, it's Wilson out to his left. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
380. Got it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he will not be able to get the 1st as he can get this only down to the 5. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. Got him in. It's Brown. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
That's good for Baltimore. First down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again, escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson, and he's got his man, Marquise Brown. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Jackson's pass intercepted. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. First down, the run with Lynch. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
At the 50-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the run, watch the run. Hey, alert.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. This throw complete, Wilson finding Lockett, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Go. Mike 51, Mike 51. Check 22.
They run it with Carson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
14, run it.
Here's Wilson to throw. Dancing to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Domata Peko racks up the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From midfield now on second down, Jackson. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Coming. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now Jackson on first down, buying time to his left. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Flush, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got Snead. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Jackson to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Edwards. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On third down, Jackson forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Tucker's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give right side. It's Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Wilson to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. After the sack on 1st down, Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to throw. Being chased out left. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's 4th down.
Mike 54. Blue there. Mike 54, Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 4th down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go. Kick your arm. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Ready? 54, Mike. 54, Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming after you. Ready, go.
He's back to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie things up at 6-6. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Check right 54. Right 54. I got you. 54.
First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Right there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Check 4, check 4.
On 1st down, Edwards. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Check back, check back. Hey, alert 3, check.
They run once more with Edwards. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Landry, the intended target. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, Does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ingram again. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9. The Seahawks 41 yard line.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Jackson now. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
One up and up is magic.